sun is numb, the Keurig's clean. Your dog is dead, it's a Ponzi screen. Ponzi screen, Ponzi screen, because it's just something to do.
I just finished doing drywall a little bit. I was doing some drywalling, some mudding.
Ponzi screen.
Yeah, no, well, probably the opposite. Honestly, there's something very, very satisfying about and absolutely the least illegitimate thing ever.
Just the most legitimate.
It's the most legitimate. Drywalling. You can't get more legitimate than that.
Painting,
the cousin of drywalling. Painting is painting is a good part of it for sure.
It's beautiful cousin. It's a really sexy cousin.
Yeah, though everybody's paying attention to painting. Meanwhile, drywalling, that's the real the bones of the situation.
It's keeping this family together.
Yeah, maybe it's like the skin. The bones are like the wood in a house. The wood is the bones. The brick is the bones. And the drywalling is the skin, and the painting
nurse
is the.
I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I've lost it. I've lost the analogy.
So
yeah.
Welcome to Ponzi Scream, everyone. With us today is the beautiful hot cousin of Ponzi Scream, Elsa Eli Waithe.
Cool cousin.
And we are here to talk with them about some beautiful things. Elsa Eli, tell us about your painting gig. Tell us about your experience with painting. We'll start with that. Let's start with that.
Jesus. I miss painting. I love painting. I like painting a person's house or apartment and giving it a fresh coat, making it look nicey nice and all clean. But yeah, I used to paint all the time. And it's fun. It's a good sort of meditative activity too. You just sort of get into it and just as you're hitting that nice up and down stroke. Oh, I'm sounding sexual. I mean, I say it's maybe one of the less skilled or skilled trades, but it's a skilled fucking trade. As in, people forget it's not just slapping paint on the wall. Oh my God, I fucked up by painting for so long because I can see people's mistakes when I go to their house, and I'm just I'm just fixated by it. I can't see anything else but the mistake.
Yeah, dude, if you go onto YouTube, which I have done, and you go start looking at
I've been on YouTube.
No, David. You go looking at the This Old House style kind of fucking videos. The first thing you learn if you look at a painting one is that if you haven't looked at a video about painting, you've probably been painting wrong your entire life.
You've probably been painting it totally wrong.
Yeah, I remember being a child and sticking the entire brush into the paint can and just being blah blah blah, and then and then realizing after looking at a couple of these videos, this one Canadian guy's first what you got to do, you got to take a completely empty spare paint bucket, put just a teeny little bit of paint in there, dunk the brush in, wipe it off. Middle of that brush, it'll hold all the paint that you need. And I'm like,
yeah.
What? So
yeah. I'm actually a lot of times just straight up holding the bristles sometimes.
Yeah.
And that trips people out. What are you doing? I'm I'm painting. Please move. I hate when also if you ever hire a painter, just leave. Just leave the fucking house. Just leave the fucking house.
Yeah.
Don't watch us. Don't watch us. Don't advise.
You missed
my God. I mean, because sometimes what I'm going to do is look really stupid at first. But shut the fuck up and trust me. Yeah, I don't like painting when people stay home. It's literally the worst. Go do something for 3 hours.
So you had multiple people no, I'll just hang out. I'll just hang out.
Yeah, just hang out. Want to fucking talk to me and shit.
I mean, you're a nice person. You're,
I mean, yeah, but I also want to just paint this shit. Shut the hell up. This is not the time for conversation, man. Yo.
You guys ever watch The Karate Kid? You guys remember?
Yeah.
Okay, so remember when he's like doing the up down
wax,
painting and stuff like
wax on, wax off, or
wax on,
yeah.
wax off. I was thinking about that, and first off, totally ridiculous that like certain moves would translate into karate because but they could be Tai Chi because that's slower.
I'd see more Tai Chi.
It could be Tai Chi. That would not be as good of a kids movie though. Is the Tai Chi
kid? Very slow and very boring.
No, the Tai Chi kid is like this kid's so calm.
Yeah, this kid.
The calmest kid in the Eastern California Valley. You know, just
he's not a kid at that point. He's like an 87-year-old Korean woman, like in the park. Just getting beat up.
That's a very boring movie.
The Tai Chi. Yeah.
The Tai Chi kid. Oh my God. Just getting beat up by a 15-year-old. God.
So I could see that though. I feel like a lot of like meditative exercises could really just be a way that we like substitute doing what like menial work or just like simple work. Other like in former times, and like exercise is kind of the same thing. Like
very much so.
People didn't used to exercise. That was not a thing. There was no like gym or fitness or like really like. I mean, there's conceptions of health in the sense that you didn't get like a disease, but like, who and like what peasant in like the 17th century is like, fuck man, my abs look like shit. Like no one.
They were.
I mean, the whole beauty standard was to be like pale and frail and shit or whatever. Anyway, you know. Right. I mean, my whole thing is like I wanna be there when we figure out like daily washing. You know, like every day do this again tomorrow. Yeah, all right.
Cleaning.
Yeah,
cleaning. Who is the first person to sort of figure that out?
Like, we gotta smell good.
Well, okay. This is highly dependent because you could say that germ theory goes back into the Enlightenment in the 19th century, but in certain areas of Paris, you're still gonna get a stinkier group of people who are washing less until probably like 1980. That, you're not getting daily washing in Paris or France.
No. Nasty people with degenerate diseases.
I mean, I don't mind a little funk, you know.
Yeah. L'eau de toilette.
Dude, some people do stink though, and like they are unabashed about it. Like I have a friend of a friend who like is a very nice person, maybe a little bit naive, but she stinks. Like she stinks, and my friend has been like, "Yo, I think you stink," and this other person is just like, "Oh, I don't care," and it's just like, "No, dog, you stink. You affect the room that you're in. Like it's not
I give everybody maybe once or twice to be ripe. You know, ripe happens, but
sure, yeah.
You know, or occasionally or whatever, but no, we shouldn't be taking pride in the funk, dude. That's off-putting.
Yeah, it's like, dude, no, it affects the room. You're not the worst person I've ever smelled. Dude, the worst person I ever smelled, it was this guy. I think his name was like TJ, and he was his name's initials. What do you expect?
That's a bad thing.
Yeah, the junk. And it was like 2012, 2013 in Portland, and the Portland comedy scene. There was a great show that happened at this place called the Tonic Lounge, and TJ would show up occasionally. And I am not joking. You could smell TJ minimum 9 feet, 10 feet away. Like if you got within the TJ circle, it was just
the TJ zone.
Bad. It was bad. Just like the way a skunk smells bad, where it's just it's a combo of everything.
Some people like that, dude. Some people are into their own funk, and I'm like, here's the thing though. Next thing you know, this is gonna be like a thing we shouldn't be talking about. Like this is like body shaming, body scent shaming, or some shit. We got to be careful. Scent shaming or something, yeah.
Oh, dude, if you guys want to hang out on the other side of the line, I respect and am fine with that. I will go. Let's say some
scent slurs.
Yeah.
Don't say the stink word. Don't say the stink word.
We're being Sintis.
Yeah.
Sintis.
Yeah, no. I will go on record as being the anti-stink,
anti-body funk.
Anti-funk. Oh, anti-funk.
I mean, there's a level. Okay, look, there's a level of body funk that's okay. You know what? This is just like a body funk. This is like a personal body smell. And then there's this there's like a stink. There's like a stink. This is not boding well for either of us. I don't like this.
It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Skeeve.
There we go, dude. That was
really. That was a bit of a.
Oh, I tried. I don't know.
That was actually really amazing, though. I liked it.
Look, no one's going to be judging people in the middle of July in New York. You know, it's going to be it's just hot. You know, no, it's a little garbagey outside to begin with. But if I could smell you in the winter, like
you're doing a thing. You're doing a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're sweating and you're wearing clothes.
Yeah, how dare you?
Smell that much? It's so much. It's so much effort.
It's going through the clothes too, you know. Unless you're one of those guys who puts on fucking insane comics who I will not name, but like I stayed at their house once and I watched this guy who stunk go into the shower, take a shower, and come out in the same goddamn sweats that he was wearing on the way in. And
he put the same clothes on.
They stunk.
Why did he put the same clothes back on?
Because he's a degenerate. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Just unnecessary.
That's unnecessary.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of unnecessary, pervasive, you know, things in our society that we can't really do anything about, you know, sometimes people get caught up in pyramid schemes. You know?
Whoa! I didn't know how you were gonna land that.
Yeah, like that gymnast who broke her ankle, where everyone's just like, oh god, I hope she's okay.
Stick the landing.
Yeah.
Landing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Dude, I wanted to say from personal experience, I have never been involved with an MLM before, but I think it's funny because ever since I've moved to New York City, one thing I do see a little bit more is sort of like weird, pervasive kind of, sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it comes in the form of a Honda CRV with a large, you know, Herbalife decal on it. Sometimes it's just, you know, going by like a sort of like a space that looks a little bit more industrial, that has another logo for like a thing where you're like, that's not real, you know. But I do see it more here in New York. I've definitely seen my fair share of people.
More MLMs.
I've seen more MLMs here. Maybe I wasn't paying attention when I lived in the West Coast.
There's also just more capitalism here.
Sure, yeah.
So there's going to be a mix of it more.
I think that's
yeah. I mean, I guess it's also I see a lot of Herbalife. I see a lot of Herbalife around. But like I'm kind of surprised. Or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Of like, you know, I feel like the West Coast is more
cults.
Well, no, not that. Well, that's a different type of multi-level marketing. The oils, the concentrated oil.
Oils. They do have oils out west.
You guys love your essential oils.
Because that links into the alternative living, alternative lifestyle, alternative medicine sort of thing. You know, that's that. What do they call that? That's that.
It's like homeopathy, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Autism prevention.
Wait, what? Oh my god. No. For real though, 2014 was an incredibly contentious year in Portland, Oregon, because we had a put fluoride in the water referendum. And let me tell you, the people came out against that. And they did not put fluoride in the water because so many people were like, you're putting fucking, you're gonna give my kid autism. Like it was
that wasn't an episode of Portlandia.
No, it was not. It was not. And let me tell you right now, Portland is still the largest city in the country without a fluoridated water system. And the crazies came out for it, for sure.
You guys are going to get like British people teeth.
No, that was a real thing. Like teachers were just sort of like, I've taught in multiple states, in multiple counties, and by large, the teeth of the children in Portland are the worst. And I was like, yeah, dude, people here, people seem to forget that in the 1970s, it was like a big white supremacist hub, and it's not just like, it's not just a fun place where you can wear a goofy hat and be like, I'm just a little weirder than most people.
Weird. Yeah, like don't keep Portland weird. It's like keep Portland wearing funny hats. You guys aren't weird. You're cute. It's cute. New York's weird, okay? Your guys' is weird is like naked bike ride. Ours is like naked homeless man on the subway.
yeah.
Not paying attention to.
yeah. We have our own set of weird that is entirely different. Although I will like, it is really funny though when you run across a New Yorker who like has sort of bought into like a really classic New Yorker who's just sort of like, bro, have you fucking checked out these oils, bro? They're fucking cleaning up my sinuses. It gets real funny. It gets real funny when you combine that accent with pseudoscience.
Yeah. So Elsa Eli, tell us about some of the latest offerings that you're here to provide for us. Or
I mean, I've never been in like a name brand. This is a pyramid scheme.
Okay.
But I've always known whenever I entered one, like that's why when people are like, I didn't know, I'm like, you gotta know on a level this is a scam. I used to sell energy wristbands at the mall, at the kiosk in the middle of the mall, and my whole job was to make you do this like test, this body test or whatever, to test your strength and flexibility when you're wearing the wristband and when you're not wearing the wristband. It's a whole bunch of smoke and mirrors. It's all fake.
I remember the wristband. I saw a commercial for it.
Wristband.
Yeah. Do you know anything about the origins of it? What's up with it?
Well, it's nothing. There's nothing with it. It's a regular like Livestrong band. Like these bands were getting made for like 3 cents a piece, and we were selling them for $30. It's just a regular rubber wristband. There's nothing cool about it, right? But I would tell you it's like made with like ionic volcanic ash or something, or something with some fucking ions, or something with the magnetic field of your body. All bullshit. I was just really good at bullshitting. That's
Would they give you parameters to talking points?
No, I think my boss was either really believed it, or he was the best actor ever. And when you're a really good actor, it looks like you really believe it, right? He actually would never give away the secret of how the test was working. He would just do it over and over on me until I could feel the difference.
He wasn't a method actor. He was a method multi-level marketing salesman.
One day I was late for work, and he asked me, he was like, "You all right?" I was like, "Ugh, lady time happened." He was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I totally understand. I got 3 daughters or whatever." He's like, "Did you sleep with the wristband on last night?" I was like,
"No."
He's like, yeah. He was like, my daughters tell me if they wear the wristband, their cramps aren't so bad. Did you? I was like, oh, ha 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 ha. Oh no, wait, you're serious? Oh, you're exactly. And I couldn't tell how much of this guy was super serious and how much of this guy was just, oh my god, it was hilarious. But no, he never gave me any. I mean, the other thing was I had a notebook full of all the things this wristband was going to help you with. Like literally, pick it, say it, you name it, the wristband works. And I would figure that out through like a series of like just some regular questions I might ask. You know, like, what do you do for a living? You know, what do you do for a living? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's sure to cause a lot of stress. You know, Everything causes fucking stress, right? Like, what am I fucking doing? I'm just probing you.
What do you do for a living? I meditate all day. Just
yeah, you know,
wow, all day. you must get thirsty.
Right? And no matter what you're suffering from, I would say that the wristband would help you get rid of. If you drank, it would help you get over a hangover. If you smoked weed, it would get weed out of your system. If you needed energy, it would give you energy. If you needed to go to sleep, it'll help you go to sleep. This one fucking wristband was gonna be the, it was gonna save your fucking life.
So how did it get from? Yeah. Do you know anything about, like, had you seen this in other cities or other malls? Like, I assume you sold this at the mall, right?
Yeah. They do wristbands. They do these like ionic necklaces. Like baseball players apparently wear these necklaces a lot. Like it's like a twisted, braided up thing or whatever.
Oh my god,
yeah. Or they do the ionic. They do the ionic bands. Where it's like, have you seen like the copper top? Have you seen that? The copper things, copper fit.
Okay. Copper is funny because elemental copper is goofy and like it's a very fun element because like there are like elements of purifying things to it, but people love to do the thing where they're like, yeah, if you take this copper ball and you put it in your room, it'll clean everything. And it's like, well, I mean, maybe if the ball is right in front of your face and you don't ever touch it really, but like you can't.
Copper cleans the air if it's right in front of your face and you don't touch it.
There's an element of copper does something. It like the
yeah, it does.
Okay. It does something, but it's nothing that I would like. I think you can easily or measurably say,
So copper oxidizes, which means it turns green. Right? That's like the central relativity.
Shit.
Which means it doesn't. It decays. Like that's all I know.
Well, it's ionic copper. I mean, it is ionic copper. It's because what happens is like, I mean, IUDs, intrauterine devices. They are. Some of them are copper, and it's because the ions that are emitted from copper, like, fuck up sperm.
I still think the thing I was doing was bullshit.
Wait.
Oh yeah.
Wait, so if I wore copper underwear, I would become
David.
David.
No, David. Yeah.
You said that the sperm would get fucked up from
not
the copper.
Exactly how it works, Dave. Chill out.
Yeah. David.
Yeah, I've also done. I've also sold like, those chocolates or whatever. They're all the same looking.
So wait, I want to finish up on the bracelet. Tell us what is the wildest thing that's happened to you with this bracelet sales, and how long did you do it for?
Oh, it only lasted for like it popped up in the mall about 2 months before Christmas, lasted about another 2 months after Christmas.
Oh.
The best part about it was the mall was right next to the college, the community college. And one of the community college professors would walk past every day on his way to like the food court. And he'd like walk past, and if he caught any of us talking to somebody, he'd be like, scam. So apparently at some point, him and my boss got into it and nearly had a fist fight about about the bracelets being a scam, and the professor was trying to like fuck up the hustle. I'm like, hey man, you can't fuck up the hustle.
There was a professor who was doing it, or it was just a guy?
It's a professor from the college.
Okay. That's a weird flex. You're a professor at a community college, and that's like your high horse.
Yeah, that's his thing. Is that the kiosk in the mall is scamming people, which we are. But like, come on, man, it's the mall. Like, go the fuck away. Like, it's every kiosk is a scam.
This guy
nothing happens at a mall kiosk.
This guy like probably like opposes the minimum wage and is also, he's just a scold. He's just not. It's just not a happy guy. It's like let people sell just let people sell the fake shit. Everyone has to eat. Let's just I don't know.
That's what I was saying, man. Let us be and sell our fake shit, dude. Chill out.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I guess it is fun. It's obvious that like, you know, like, oh yeah, all the stuff in the mall is a scam is like half in jest. But then like when I really think about it, I think about like all the times that like I've walked through a mall and I've seen like another kiosk that has like a million cell phone cases. Like a bunch of them. And then I think to myself like, well, yeah, like cell phone cases are a scam because conservatively people replace their cell phone now like every year or every 2 years. So you're just buying something that's not even that's gonna be completely irrelevant. Plus, if you buy, it's also one of those things where it's like if you're buying a cell phone case from the kiosk in the mall, it's just like maybe you shouldn't have a phone. Like you gotta nationalize OtterBox and then like give that to everybody. All right, take that away from them.
No problems as it is. And I would tell people the craziest things, you guys. Like I remember, like the first couple of days, I was just like, I can't sell this shit because this is so like I see my boss. I'm from Virginia, so it's large military presence or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
He told this guy that he was coming back from Iraq. His arm was all bandaged up. He told the guy that the wristband would help him regrow the flesh that was like knocked out by the IED. I'm like, nothing does that. Nothing does that. And the guy brought it.
No. Come on.
Yo,
and it worked. And it worked.
I mean, honestly, I admire it to an extent because it was one of those things where like I've been in salesperson positions as well, or just sort of like general customer service things, and like I was like, I gotta tell the truth about how this iPhone is shitty. Like, you don't need Apple Care. Oh God, like it would kill me. Like,
see, that's different though. That's like something that somebody may not be able to tell right away. You should know that this wristband is not going to help you sober up in the morning. And so I would say dumb shit like that, and people would believe me. I mean, I would also try to drop in some like real information. Like, I told this woman one time, she says her 14-year-old daughter crying all the time in her room all the time or whatever. And I'm like, she sounds like she's 14 and depressed and just like some regular 14-year-old shit, right?
Yeah.
And the wristbands were $30. So I told the lady, I was like, the wristbands help with energy and, maybe she'll pep up and have a little more energy or something. And I sold her 3 wristbands, so $90 worth of wristbands. At the very end, I told her, I was like, if the wristbands don't work, you should probably see about taking it to a psychiatrist or a doctor. I was like, this does sound like normal teenager stuff, but if you're really worried, I don't think the wristband's going to do everything.
Right.
That's very interesting. Well, actually, this is a interesting follow-up. Were you in a particularly affluent part of Virginia? Were you getting like wine bombs coming in checking out the wristbands, or were you getting middle class, lower class? What was going on?
Everybody, because the hood is right next to this place too. So
okay.
I'm getting a little bit of everybody. I'll tell you this: I didn't let black folk buy them.
Say again.
I did not let black folks buy them.
You're just like move along.
They don't do it.
I would do a little demonstration on them. I would pretend like I'm actually about to sell it or whatever, and then I would tell them the real deal. If you still wanted to buy it afterwards, like, who am I to stop you? But I'd tell them, these things kind of don't really work. It's mind over matter or whatever.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't let black people go without me telling them that I think it's a scam.
Yeah.
Did you make a lot of money from it?
I made a fuck ton of money, dude. I made a fuck ton of money because once I got over the fact that it's a snake oil and I'm selling snake oil or whatever, I went all in. I'm a good salesperson, man. Like I will tell you, yeah, I wear this. It helps me last in bed longer. Hell yeah. I took this. I wore 2 of them and cleared my piss up for a piss test. Like fuck yeah. And here's the thing: people want to believe. They really want to.
That's right.
Yeah, dude. People. I mean,
it gives them hope. That's priceless, man.
That's all I'm doing is telling you hope and dream in a fucking
wristband.
Form.
Okay, now I want to know about unless Danny, you had one more thing.
No, I'm curious. Did you remember your question?
Yeah, no, it was really just my point about. It was really just like the point of just this is selling inspiration, and
yes.
that like you are in some ways like you are the product, and it's just like the same way that people want to get like cleaner for or what are those things like you put into the dryer to make sure that your clothes don't stick together? Fabric softener does nothing, absolutely worthless, but it makes you feel like you're doing something to make your clothes dry better or in a more responsible way or in a more like meaningful way. And it makes you feel like, you know what, like my clothes are better and I treat myself better and I am going to sleep better and I'm going to look better. And really, fabric softener is confidence. That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then of course it also brings into, you get into a real philosophical quandary because it's like, what if somebody was just placeboed the shit out of themselves and then like got that job interview that they were like, I'm too nervous, but the bracelet helped me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, con stands for confidence, man. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily conning you. I'm putting you're like, okay, I'm conning you out of some money or whatever. But like, if you really do feel better after this, then who the fuck am I?
You ever gotten a Lucky Rock?
It's a lucky rock.
It's a lucky rock that costs $10, and Elsa's going to sell it to you.
Yeah, you're buying me, baby. It's all about me anyway.
It's just like and it's like if you don't want to buy anything at the mall, if you don't know what you want to buy, but you want to get something at the mall, but you don't really feel like candy or like ice cream or something like that.
It's like I brought this cool little totem thing for me.
Yeah, and you had a show. You had Elsa Eli come up talking to you about how it's going to make your dick smaller, and that's cool. You know, you want your dick to be smaller, and that's
counterpoint, David. I don't think people believe that.
I don't think people like dick smaller.
David is doing a little. Okay. Yeah.
So look, that sounds like a worthwhile endeavor, but that's not necessarily a pyramid scheme, right?
Yeah.
Like a pyramid scheme is where you are selling something and you get a cut of, but really what you're selling is like a business model, and you're selling. You get a cut of the next salesperson's sales.
I do remember that there was a guy in my home scene that got into a MLM about tea.
Ooh.
Tea is a big MLM thing these days. Yeah.
Instant tea and coffee MLM, and he almost got clowned out of the scene. Everyone's like, yo, this is. He would bring them. He'd bring the coffee and tea samples to shows and open mics. It was
awesome.
Oh my God, no.
And then one time he did a show, and the show was, of course it was a comedy show, but it was also about getting people in on his coffee.
No, you've made a bringer even worse than a bringer. Wow, that is impressive.
So there was this comic in Virginia, and he would have bringer comedy shows that were actually just multi-level marketing scheme meetings.
You can't. I didn't think you could do something worse than make a bringer comic. I'd like I don't. Could you do anything further than like a quick like Kyle Hitler at the end of that to make it any worse? You truly couldn't. You truly could not. You know, God.
Hey, do you think I can send my tape to I don't know, to Montreal? I don't know. You think that they might like it after like?
You know what though?
I'm gonna send this multi-level marketing scheme video to Just for Laughs.
No, look, real talk. At this point, if you got to be a comic that went to Just for Laughs, there is a non-zero chance. I'm putting it at least 15% that you could convince one of the agents or like industry people there to buy some of your stuff. Like, they are not the brightest bunch in the bushel. They are there to solely to be parasitic, and you just out parasite them.
So how long was this guy doing this selling tea thing?
He was doing it for quite some years before.
Years?
Yeah, I think he's doing it for at least a year or two before everyone got fucking sick and tired of it.
Oh, so
did he have another job? How did he support himself? Was he selling that much tea?
No, he was not. No, he wasn't selling any tea, dude. There was like zero tea happening at all. But it was just he was really trying to get his downline, you know what I'm saying? He was trying to get other comics, like, and that's what's really awful. You know, we're all miserable and poor. Don't involve us in that.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that I think is where the multi-level marketing thing kind of it really takes a dark turn, because, you know, if like a weird upper middle class like white lady is selling other upper middle class white ladies, you know, oils and stuff like that, and they're not hurting each other, it's kind of just sort of like, you know, like whatever. But once you get like the poor involved, and like you see, don't involve the poor, dude. No, and then, you know, like that's the weird thing. And I mean, I think it's obviously worth mentioning that, like, you know, people's lives have been ruined by these kinds of things, and even the upper middle class white ladies might find themselves in a position where, like, you know, their MLM is having them destroy their lives in
absolutely
some way, you know?
And the starter kit that you're required to get can be in the thousands of dollars oftentimes.
Yeah, depending upon the MLM, yeah, that starter kit can be quite a jump.
Huge debt. I mean, it's basically like a mortgage or something that you're just thrown onto.
I mean, I've had some girlfriends who were in on the sex toys MLM, the pleasure parties.
Wait, really? There's a sex toys MLM?
There's a sex toys MLM, yeah. They're called pleasure parties, dude. I forget the name of the brand. But it seemed like for a while, all of my girlfriends and all of my girlfriends' friends were doing these pleasure parties. You know, we're all lesbians. We need extra toys and shit. Mm-hmm. It felt like all of my friends were doing these sex party MLMs or whatever. And I would go at first thinking, like, this is going to be a sex party. No.
Wait, okay. You're going to have to fully describe this, because I have never heard of this before.
So like, you thought it was an orgy, and it was a multi-level marketing scheme.
No! and it's a bringer show. Oh my God! It turned an orgy into a bringer show. God damn it!
So tell us where it was. Like, when did you? How many times have you run into this? And like, in what context? Like, are you going to people's apartments and you think it's an orgy?
You typically go to your homegirl's apartment or whatever, and you know it's done like it's a ladies' night or whatever. So there's like drinks and fun little stuff, almost even maybe like a bachelorette style sort of situation, you know.
Yeah.
And one of the women there is selling, you know, or someone's coming to sell toys. And what they also like try to do is like get you a little drunk and liquored up, so you're like in the mood to spend some money, you know?
Yeah, of course. And do they like? Is there like actual sex that like happens, or does it stay platonic?
No, it's still it's a bunch of repressed women usually.
Oh yeah. Do you expect there to be
like a perfect chef party where, like, you know, they explain what each item does, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Is somebody
they might have ones they pass around.
Does somebody like raise their hand at some point and they're just sort of like, so should I like bring a bowl and we put our keys in it, or like can we start doing
When's the sex
no,
gonna happen?
it's nowhere as sexy as you think it is. It's honestly very dry. These things are very dry. And then she tries to get you to buy one or two or the starter kits right there. So you can get a discount if you get a starter kit.
You can either buy or you can become a merchant. And if you become a merchant, then you get a discount.
The sexpert. So it allows you to call yourself a sex expert or whatever, when all you're really fucking doing is just selling sex toys, some of which are of questionable quality. You know, these aren't the best.
No.
These
Are they made
toys.
Yeah. Are they
like the stuff you would get at the sex shop, but it's like made cheaply or whatever.
Ionic Volcano sex toys?
That's like that was like I think a big contention actually, and it makes a lot of sense now, because like every once in a while you would hear of, or if you had like a weekly free newspaper, oftentimes there would be like ads in the back where like there'd be like a sex shop that would take out advertising. And in Portland, the one that advertised, you heard about it and you eventually learned like, oh, they're not just like a sex toy store, like they try to source their stuff like more so it's like less cruel, or something is happening where there's a quality control to the stuff.
Not this stuff.
But then you're definitely describing an MLM thing where they're just sort of like, oh no, these things get made in the same factory as the dog toy factory. Like there is
like
not.
The vibrator in it is meant to break after like 30 hours of use,
So like, what do they like sell as the thing that makes them stand out? Is it volcanic ash vibrators? Like
no, I think the whole thing is like it's sex toys for women, designed by women, because that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Because they imagine
the sex toy market is oversaturated with women's products made by men, so it's not. It's still not comfortable. See, this is maybe one of the more nefarious ones I've ever heard of, because it really is touching on a subject that is still, in largely anyway, I mean, obviously in more like leftist and liberal circles, it's, people are sometimes a little bit more open to that stuff, but you get a bunch of like, normal ass, normal Betty, Karens, Bettys and Karens.
Yeah, you get a lot of those people, and like it's this false sort of like we're empowering each other, and it's just like, okay, yeah.
It's using the discourse of like progressivism, but using it to like exploit it through capitalism ultimately.
Exactly. So yeah, it's a little weird in that aspect where it's still kind of like exploiting, and in one half it's good, and in the other half it's exploiting. So yeah, it's one of those sort of situations.
And the stuff isn't that good, you say? I mean, like if it was good quality stuff, then
it's not even good quality stuff. No.
And you don't get to hook up at those parties.
And there's no hooking up, so it's definitely bad all around. It's not what I thought it was going to be. I came in already with my sex toys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ready to go.
I was ready.
I was
ready, and I felt disappointed.
Dude, I love the visual of somebody like coming into this sort of this party, and they have like just like a regular bag or a purse or something like that, and they take it off and they're just sort of like, who's ready? And like you're just like, you've got like something or like a dildo or something like halfway out of the bag, and they're like, we're here to and it's like, we're going to talk about empowerment, and then you're just like,
Back in the bag.
Yeah. So this is not the. Oh, okay. No, okay. No, that's cool. It's cool. I wasn't thinking anything else.
No. Oh, you brought a pyramid chart? Oh, cool. Yeah, I brought a marker. This is a marker. I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know how it goes.
Yeah, you're just like, will you excuse me for a second? I gotta go to the bathroom I gotta take something out of my ass. Hold on a second. You're gonna have to give me a second. I gotta get this thing out of my ass. I can't sit like this for an hour and a half. I'm sorry.
That's amazing. So, do you know, like, friends of yours, have they like fallen for these sexpert things, or have you lost people?
I've had girlfriends all in it, fam, thinking that they were sexperts. You know?
Did they lose money out of it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was the girlfriends that I knew were smart enough maybe not to continue with it, but yeah, I had one friend who had like a trunk full of this like sample merchandise or whatever that never sold. That's the starter kit itself is about $200-$300 because you gotta essentially buy one of every item they have, so you can demo it and show it to people.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I can. That's, I think that's sort of the, we were talking about totems a second ago, but that is the totem of the multi-level marketing scheme very often is some person with a fucking, 98 Accord with stuff in the trunk that is part of their MLM that they cannot sell.
Oh yeah.
That's just stuck. It's just stuck there.
I feel like MLM culture and car culture are so tied together. Like, I can't imagine really someone doing an MLM scheme on the subway.
No.
Like,
well, the only way it works is that it's because it's your friend. It's because it's your friend. It's your friend from church. It's somebody in your group. That's why you see, like, I'm pretty sure that's why all my girlfriends all at once were all into it, because it's like they attract whole groups of people.
Yeah, it totally bleeds. That's why those things proliferate.
That's the network, because you got to have those little parties. Like, did you guys ever watch that show? Did you guys ever watch that show, Big Love?
I heard about it.
It's about the Mormons, and one of the wives, because it's the polygamous. One of the wives, she gets into this MLM, and it's all about this like natural, like energizing Jello. I swear to God, it's like energy. It's like energy.
The QAnon folks, they're all layered in there together, dude.
Yeah.
The rise of MLM, the re-rise of MLM, like, corresponds very, like, lays right on top. It's a perfect circle. The Venn diagram is a perfect circle of folks who buy into MLMs and folks who QAnon.
Yeah.
Well, it's
similar
also
demo. It's something to believe in.
Well, we also have like stage 2 of MLM stuff too, because I don't know if there's ever been a precipitous drop off in how they, like, were they more popular in a certain era or not? But I could say without a shadow of a doubt that I am positive that the MLM has just like skyrocketed since Instagram, social media in general. Just like people where they got the front facing camera and they're like, all right, everybody, we're about to do a sale. Yeah. It's going to be great. Like, let's do this. I mean, if I were to guess, I would have said maybe there was a small drop off in like the mid-aughts, because I could definitely see, like, I remember like Herbalife and stuff like that being more popular in the 80s and 90s. But then that shit, it shot right back up once you have, once Instagram is on the scene, then that shit could just spread.
Social media, because of the social aspect of MLMs, I think this is fostered by all social media, really. It's so, and it's really easy, especially on I'm taking a social media marketing course right now. And it's really easy for especially Facebook and Instagram to be effective advertising tools. One, because you're already there because of your friends and family.
Right.
Yes.
And we are a visual person. So if I see this product over and over and over, and I see it over and over and over from my friend, it actually doesn't matter if the product works, if it's trustworthy. You know what I'm saying? My friend's doing it, I have to.
Right.
Yeah. It's and I mean it's kind of like your boss that you were describing, where the grift and the truth, or whatever version of the truth they know, gets totally muddled by the end. Because my best friend, like, sort of jokingly follows this one woman on Instagram because she does something that is like a pseudo, MLM, where it's more of like a nutrition based thing. So there's some elements of actual science that's going into it,
Sure.
as far as like getting fit or whatever. But all her posts, they just they bleed together. There's no distinguishing, line anyway between sort of like, I'm talking about a smoothie that I made, but also I'm kind of just an annoying person who like takes pictures of their dumb kid and their like ugly husband and stuff like that. But the smoothie's back, and it just gets totally mushed together, and it's just like these people's lives become so entrenched with what is ultimately kind of a scam.
And also, like, everything gets wound up in your personal life too. Like, you're looking up your favorite movie on Google, and then Google has an advertising agreement with Instagram or something like that, and then it's going to get cross-pollinated, and that your movie is going to, an advertisement for the movie is going to show up on Instagram, and then after that, some random new product is going to show up, and then your best friend at a wedding is going to show up, and it's just like, okay, well, I like 2 out of the 3, I automatically like the third. I'm automatically going to like this product.
Yeah, it's weird subliminal shit. Like, again, you see a person on Instagram posting stuff, and maybe they're just being like, hey, I just went on a nice walk. But in the back of that picture, there's a smoothie, and it's just one of those weird, it's that weird thing. It's where it's just like, it's everywhere. It's fucking everywhere,
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's again, with marketing in general, ubiquitousness is a thing. So much that you stop noticing it.
Yeah.
There has to be a point where you don't notice it, then you notice it, and then you stop noticing it. That's sort of the trend, or how things should go in the marketing thing. We want you to really, really be hyper aware of our product, and then we want it to sink to the back of your mind. And it's with the MLMs or the multi-level marketing or whatever, it's very nefarious, because it's your friends. One of the things that we do with brand is that we smush brand identity into our own identity. So like I said, it's my boss. I don't know how much of this he really believed and how much he was actually taking on and really believing, or how much was the scam or whatever, but it doesn't matter, because how much of it is real? It's all real. How much of it is fake? It's all fake, actually.
Yeah. It's like you said, ubiquity. It's just the lines totally gone at that point.
Yeah. And that's like the focus. That's like sort of the main point of the marketing, is to get that line to fade. So that when you see, like you said, when you see your friend's post and it's her kids, and then it's the smoothies, and then it's her husband, and then it's the smoothies. She wants you to associate the smoothies with her lifestyle, and look at all the fun things. Look at all the fun things I'm into, and the
smoothie.
Yeah, and if you have to get out of it, then it is just a whole to do. I mean, and like it's like it's what you were saying earlier about QAnon, where it's just sort of like, if you like dug down deep into the recesses of a person's mind, who is a firm QAnon believer, you would find doubt. You'd find something. You'd find something there where, like, ultimately, there is you can tell this is caused by something else. But in order to deconstruct that and really actually make them stop believing in a thing, you have to like reprogram their whole life.
Yeah.
And if
and MLMs do a really good job of programming you too, you know, with the slogan and the support system and the, you know, go girl boss, or, you know,
something
for,
to
you
believe
know,
in. Yeah.
Yeah, for guys, you know, you're a self-made man, you're an entrepreneur, you know, the messaging. And so then if your, you know, business, your AKA business, your MLM starts to fail, then, oof, this is so tied into my identity. This is so tied into my social group, my friend group, you know. I can't say that I've been scammed. The sunk cost fallacy is too much. For me to admit that I've, you know, been scammed means that I spent so much money into this. It actually makes more sense for me to double down, because maybe if I double down, it'll work. If I quit all the way, it'll never happen.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds like gambling at this point.
But it also sounds like most people's careers, and you know, like people's jobs, like you get super invested in something, your whole social dynamic, your sense of self, your all of your time, money, and energy is spent on your career. And then if you suddenly realize that it was meaningless, or it's gotten you nowhere, or you failed in it, or it failed for other reasons unrelated to you, you're going to find ways to defend it and have it be tied to your entire thing. Like, why does West Virginia still identify with coal miners, even though there's so few left in the state? Terrible for the environment. All the profits have like been completely extracted and gone out of state to like.
They're wrong, but feel like they have to admit they're wrong to the entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, and that's complicated and difficult, because there is a thing where it's like, look, a person's lived experience is a person's lived experience. So clearly, you know, the fact that if you know, you want to go with the West Virginia analogy, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, there was like a period of the 20th century where this was you could make a, you know, a median like living off of it and what have you. And I think it really is tied into like the economics of it is so intrinsic to it. And people, like I was saying with the mid 20th century thing, it's like people are very unwilling to admit that that brief period of post-war, you know, abundance might have just been the exception to the rule. And if there was any kind of logic behind it, it was because we specifically made it so like there was a 90% like taxation rate if you made over a certain amount of money. And we're still just sort of in that mode where it's like it's really hard to admit what might actually be happening because it's incredibly painful, you know.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Well, this seems like a good place to wrap up. I feel thanks for coming on, Elsa Eli. We always appreciate you coming on the show. Where can we find you? What can you plug?
Just find me on Twitter, dude. I don't have, you know, I just do the same old shit on Twitter. So that's at Elsa, just Elsa, all three words, not just Elsa, because then that's Disney. So Elsa, just Elsa.
Yes.
Elsa, just Elsa.
Yeah. Very good to know. My plug, of course, is that I still need a roommate. Please, people out there. I just drywalled the bathroom. I know what I'm doing.
This guy's got everything. What else do you need but a drywalled bathroom, people?
Everything. Come on. But yeah.
Okay, hit up Danny if you need that. Follow us, Ponzi_Scream on Twitter, and like, submit comments, talk to us. We love to hear back from people. We just had one guy told us about this really awesome. I use that in certain words, with like a gun running Ponzi scheme in Omaha.
Yes.
Just shout out to my people for talking to us on the chat. We want to hear about that sort of stuff. Anyways, this has been Ponzi Scream. My name's David Bradley Eisenberg. Everyone else, here. We love you guys.
Danny's here. Danny is here.
All right. Okay. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, bye.